All right, hello everyone. It's Wednesday. I've already posted the Astro Hours, and I've already posted. I'm posting the video now. Okay, now yesterday, remember I was on the MetaTrader 5, and I posted everything there. So I said, gold's got potential to go up into this zone, and it has come into this zone. It's got more room to go up as well. Now I've posted the Astro Hours, and you can see them on the members area. So this is where we were targeting yesterday, right? So I said if the market comes up here, this will be a sell zone. So it's obviously a target which the market made. And I said there's also a target up there, which is logical. And on SP 500, I said this is a logical zone for the market to get up into and then sell off. It's done that. All right, that was an Astro hour here. As you can see, market went up, came back down. We had another Astro hour here. It went there, and this is the Asia session. All right, so this is not from yesterday, but that's the Asia session. So we're going to look into all of them. Euro dollar, beautiful buy zone coming in at the Astro hours and market going up. And I talked about this zone as well being a place where the market can sell off. It didn't get there yet. Okay, that's still an option. We're going to look into that on the MetaTrader for now. All right, so I'm back on the MetaTrader 4. Okay, so this is gold. Now you can see with gold on the daily, we're in the middle of ranges. All right, but today is a swing day, and today is actually a nice day. So we might find ourselves Wednesday, Thursday somewhere at highs. Okay, and it's logical as well, right? So today it looks like, I'm looking at the astrological side of stuff, and in the New York session you might have a nice flow day. So the hours you want to be looking at for today is 6 to 6:40 p.m. my time, and also in the morning my time, which is going to be from 8 to 8:40, and actually from 10 past 8 to 10 past 9 my time. All right, so this zone as well should be, it's because it's an Astro hour here. Now if you're using the 8 a.m. strategy, this is the 1 hourly chart, as you can see, and that's nice and cozy right on there. So from here going up onto 70, which is 2038, okay, it should take us into the weekly pivot, and then we might then push and break out. Okay, and if that's the case, we might end up somewhere at 6 to 6:30. Okay, and the market may still continue onwards. All right, so it could be a really nice day. Also look out for this 245, where the market might make like it might go up, retrace into 245, and then kind of like push up. Is not a bad idea either. All right, so we've got a few more minutes left until that Astro hour comes into play. All right, and this is your 15-minute chart here. So if we dip down into the daily pivot, it's also not a bad spot to be getting in. But on the 1 hour chart, you can see it's just nice and easy to kind of like go up from here. Let's take a look at the SP 500. Now with the SP 500, Astro hours yesterday going up into that zone I marked in yesterday. Okay, so on the weekly as well, we're like still at the tops. That was the zone, remember? We talked about the good buy kiss on the weekly, the market bought from there, and now on the daily we've got a breakout. If you want to buy, you can, and a good level would be 63, which is a price of 4934. So if the market comes down into 4934, is this zone, buying may not be a bad idea. If it comes back down, I'd say still even into this 4944, 4945, it's not a bad idea, because where do I have that? That's 4905. Yeah, because that might still push the market up. But remember, like, we are highs, right? So if you're going to get in to go long when the price is this high, I'd be careful. All right, I'd be careful, and just keep in mind the swing days for SP 500. Remember, it's Thursday, so we might end up somewhere nice and easy in the Asia session, and then the market might turn around in Asia. So be mindful for that one. If you want to sell it off, I'd wait. Euro dollar daily. Okay, now this one as well, I said this zone is a buy zone. If you want to buy from here, you'd be okay. And this is what the market did. And this zone we talked about yesterday as well. So yesterday I marked that zone which was that bar, I think. Okay, which is pretty much there. Okay, and the market bought at Astro Hours. Now this has got a little bit more maybe room to follow up here. Worst case scenario 0786, because that's a goodbye kiss. So 0786 on the price is where you want to kind of target. So if the market dips down, going up there may be an option. If you want to sell again, this is a sell zone. This is a sell zone to do so. All right, why? Because of that. Okay, but because the price is really low, as you can see here, right, these are like places where the market bought before, selling is not the best idea. So this is why I always say sell when the market goes up if the trend is going down. So that's how you'd want to pan this out. On the weekly, that could be 48, which is 0815, or you're going to have to wait 0865. So 0815 is here. This is also a good place to be selling off in that zone. There's a gap here, and that's obviously the zone there, 0860. All right, so somewhere around here is also okay to do so, which is going to be this zone here. All right, so picking your zones and then trading at the Astro hour, I think, is the best way to go, so you can match price and time. If you want to go up to play into those zones, then you got to buy down here on the daily or the opening or the low of yesterday, as you can see from here. All right, let's take a look at Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Bitcoin. Okay, so this is Nasdaq. Right, so Nasdaq, remember with Nasdaq, I marked that in on the daily. All right, so there you can see. So there's a breakout here, as you can see from yesterday. On the weekly, the market is at the top, so it's still a bit tricky. The Nasdaq swing day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, any day is a swing day for this one. All right, but remember, you might want to use the other indices in correlation, because when the indices have a swing day, I like to match them together because they move together. All right, so this zone is not a bad place to be selling off, but like I said, we could have a surprise night tonight. So if you want to buy a low, then buying if the market comes down first, right? You want to buy if it comes down first to go up, and that's 17,461. All right, on the daily, 17,461, which is around, well, there you go. It's just pretty much there on the weekly period. Now, this is a 1 hour chart. Turn this into a 15-minute chart, and let's do that. So the market dips back down again. You know, sweeping the stops here is also an option, and then going up. Why? Because there's a bit of a gap here the market might want to come into, and that's fine. So this is going to be kind of a buy zone at an Astro hour if you want to go long with it. Okay, and that's fine. If it goes up first, it should break these and take out the stops. Okay, so if it comes down, going up is not a bad idea at all. All right, if the market hangs around here and you want to buy around here to go up, it's not a bad idea. All right, you can do it with a tight stop loss just under the daily pivot there. So that's also okay. Dow Jones going to be the same kind of thing here, as you can see. Now there's a huge divergence here. This is a nice setup because the resistance is at 67, 38,667 and 38,667. Whoops, is there, right? If we go above that, okay, then you know we've got room to go up, but it needs to be a nice clean break, okay? And that's how it is if it does break. On the weekly, as you can see, we've got this thing, this big dip down, and then there's some buying pressure happening. On the monthly, that 67.37 is on the cards, which is, as you can see, where are we? 67, 65.37, 39.16. All right, 39,000. 16 is around there. Okay, so the market's got, it has room, all right, but we just need to break above that if it wants to do it. So there's two ways to play around it. If it comes down first, just like with everything else, you can buy in order to go up, and the place to buy would be this zone, the weekly or the opening. There's a slight gap here. So what you might want to do if you're trading the Dow Jones is turn this zone into a kill zone and use the Astro hours to catch a U-turn to go up. Okay, and that's how it is. All right, because as you can see, this is going to be your first port of call. All right, so boom, boom is a possibility, and this will be a sell zone as well. So it's a bit tricky because we're at the, we're really at high levels here. Okay, and that's just, how it is, as you can see. All right. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now with Bitcoin, I said the market's going sideways. Don't muck around in no man's land. If the market goes up, you can sell it off. Okay, and if you want to buy, you're going to have to wait for the market to come down. Okay, and yesterday we talked about those levels. So let's see what they are today. Resistance at 57 for 43,348. So 43,348 is going to be right there. Okay, this is the resistance for today. 348. All right, you know what I mean. So you just have to mark it in there on the daily, right? And your support is 50, which is 42,583. 42,583. 42,5. So as you can see, it's a bit of a squeeze here, isn't it? All right, so yeah, all right. So if we break below this as well, it's going to be a little tricky. Let's get back into there. All right, so as you can see, we're in a bit of a tight zone here. On the weekly, it can go up, it can come down, but like I said before, for me, this is like a place where the market sold off before. All right, so once it sells off in this zone, as you can see, this is still a resistance zone here. Okay, and I'd be more inclined to sell those levels rather than muck around here. Okay, that's a nice indecision on the daily, on the monthly, closing lower, and that's fine. So on the weekly, to kind of like follow it down is not a bad idea at all. All right, so selling, I think, is a better option. As you can see, the daily has broken, closed below. So market going up, selling off, and selling downwards, I think, is a better way to go. But I did mention before, you'll see it in the previous videos as well, there's a gap here. So if the market does pop up there, do not be surprised, because sometimes I want to close the gap and then sell it off. If they don't close this gap and they keep pushing, that's great, not a problem, because when the market comes down, we'll want to be going up with Bitcoin as well. So we've got room to come down into all the way into this zone here. All right, so market should pop down, and in fact even lower as well. Okay, and we'll see how that pans out, because we've got gaps here as well. So sooner or later the market should tap down into this zone as well. I know it's quite low, but that's just how it is. All right, it's just my technical analysis. So that's how I see things.